In 2015, we left the rat race and went to the farm. We bought a 100-year-old farmhouse and 9 acres. After 3 years of extensive renovations, we can finally call ourselves College Hill Farm. Welcome back to College Hill Farm. Today we're harvesting basil. Today we're going to harvest our basil. Now, basil is our favorite herb, but what I want to show you first is, it's October the 5th. We should already have our first frost by now, but we haven't. Now, basil's going to start to turn these colors. You can see that. See how the leaves are starting to get a little black? Well, you want to pick your basil before too many of those leaves turn that way, because you don't want those black leaves. Okay? So, I've started picking, and I'm just going to continue here, and then when I get this done, I've got 2 5-gallon buckets that I'm going to fill with basil. And when I get this done, then the next thing you'll see is me back in the kitchen showing you how to put up the basil. We freeze our basil, we don't dry it. So I'm going to work. Now, this right here, if you look, there's 2 5-gallon buckets there. That's probably all that me and Crystal can work up before it starts wilting. We'd like to get it worked up before it's all wilty. So let's get this in the house and I'll show you what we do. Now, we don't necessarily, here we are back in the kitchen, we don't necessarily put up our basil like other people. Some people dry their basil. Well, we don't dry it. We like to pick our basil off each individual leaf, wash it, then spin it dry, and then put it in a freezer bag. So I'm going to take some time here and pick my basil, but I don't want basil with a lot of old black parts on it and that kind of stuff. I just want the basil that's good and clear. I don't want stems. I just want the basil that's good and clear, and there are not all these big black places on it. Because we're going to eat this. You know? I want to eat stuff that's in good shape. Now, the rest of this basil plant right there, I'm going to put that away, put that down, because it's got all that black stuff on it. I don't want that. So, that one's done. Set it off to the side. And continue on. See, and I don't care if there's one that's got all that black on it. If it's got it, you know, I pick the ones that don't have it and put it to the side, because you saw our buckets. Always plant more than you need. That's the ticket. Always plant more than you need. That way you've always got enough. So I'm going to get at this, and then Crystal's going to come in and she'll wash all this up, and then we'll show you what we do right before we put it in the freezer bag. Okay? Folks, the necessity of any homestead kitchen is a nice big sink. So Crystal's washed the sink out, because you got to wash it before you process your food. So she's washed the sink out, and now she's getting ready to wash the basil, and then we'll continue on showing you how to put it up. Folks, here is our basil. It's washed. Crystal's done all of it. Don't make the big mistake of squeezing your basil. Basil's a pretty tender plant. So if you make a mistake and squeeze your basil, you're going to bruise it. Now, as far as putting this stuff up, we've talked about different things. If you put up basil the way that you put it up, maybe you put it in oil and put it in the refrigerator, or you dehydrate it or whatever, and that's what works best for you, absolutely. This is just what works best for us. This is just the way we do it. Now, she'll get that all out of the water, and then we'll show you what else we do with it. Okay, here it is with a second wash. You'll notice the water's so much cleaner now. When we took the others out, the water was just so dirty that we decided it was time for another wash. You want this stuff to be clean enough that when you take it out of your out of the freezer, you want it to be able to go right in your pot or saucepan or whatever it is you're using. Okay, show you the next. Everything's washed, ready to go. Now, this, you've seen them. If you ever go to flea markets, I've never been to a flea market that didn't have one of these salad spinners. Okay, you just push the thing and it makes it spin around and around and around like that. So I've never been to a flea market that doesn't have those. You can pick these up for about $2. So Crystal will just fill that hopper. And then it's spin time. You can see the water coming out of the side. And you can see most of the water is taken out. But then we take and do it 2 times because you just want to make sure you get as much water as you can out, because we just have so many tea towels. Then we dump that out on a tea towel or on a linen towel. Try not to throw it in the floor. Then we just pat it dry. And you're not going to get all the water off. Okay, you're going to get a large amount off. And they're mostly dry at this point. And then they just go in a Ziploc bag. Okay, and that's how many you put in a baggie. Then that'll go in the freezer. And then over here, we have saved the seed heads. And you know what that's for. It's important to save your seed from year to year. And there's the baggie. On to the next thing. I'd like to thank you for visiting with us at College Hill Farm today. I hope you found our videos entertaining and or informative. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment on both Facebook and YouTube. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.